We are using technology to combat those that are also using technology to harm children. So we really are trying to fight fire with fire and use information to make a real difference in this world.
Logging and tracking and arresting predators that are obsessed with the idea of having sex with children. And they're collecting videos of this stuff. That's what we really need the public to understand. That's what Child Rescue Coalition is fighting.
Our computers are tracking them 365 days a year and 24 hours a day, and able to push these leads to law enforcement to be able to make actionable cases against these offenders.
With every 5 cases that I do using the data and intelligence from Child Rescue Coalition, one of every 5 of those cases, we recover a new child victim.
It started for me in 1973. I was 4 years old, and my father used to come to my room like an hour, maybe 2 hours after I'd go to sleep.
Oftentimes, sexual predators are someone who is known to the victim and to the family, and is a person that was in position of trust to that child.
I am eternally grateful to Child Rescue Coalition because as a child sexual abuse survivor, I have had an opportunity to share my story with others and allow them to know they're not alone.
We have seen in our system over 44 million IP addresses in possession of child pornography. We have over 900,000 known child pornography videos and images that we're tracking.
I've been in sex crime since 1990. Once the internet took off, this whole problem exploded. I use the analogy of a drug addict. The more they started consuming, the more they wanted.
It's a victim's most horrible and horrific moment that they've ever been through in their entire life, and it's now being traded over and over among offenders, and no way to take it off the internet or stop the trade of that.
Before, we had the technology provided by Child Rescue Coalition to catch child predators. The act already had to happen. Unfortunately, we would already have to have a child that was abused and then was courageous enough to come forward and tell the police. Now we have a tool that allows us to get these predators before they hurt a child.
Our tool is proactive in preventing child sexual abuse. So instead of law enforcement taking the tact of being reactive and waiting for a victim to come forward, we're proactively identifying who these offenders are and who's most likely to be a hands-on abuser of our children.
Actually, I think the two most exciting aspects of it is one, that they can preempt the child abuse by identifying the perpetrators beforehand through their online activity. And the other piece is that because of their online activity, if they do catch somebody in mid-abuse, they're actually able to prosecute them without engaging the victim as a witness.
One of the most difficult parts of my job is dealing with traumatized children. Many children don't go ahead and tell us what happened. They withhold the facts because it's too painful to relive. They don't want people to know what happened to them. Going through court is much easier, much more effective, and much more merciful when my primary witnesses are detectives who ran this system.
We're finding that our data at the Child Rescue Coalition is strong enough to be putting these offenders behind bars for a very long time.
It's a 100% success rate. Every case that we've used this data, arrested a predator, we've convicted every one of those. We have a 100% success rate in convicting these people. We haven't lost one case.
This is a charity that helps thousands of people in a very short period of time. And it's all because of its ability to maneuver quickly because of technology. And I think that's what makes it so different. This is actually preventative. This is efficient. This is revolutionary.
One of the reasons it's so important for me is because I've seen the pain in the children. I've seen the pain in their eyes, and sparing the children of that sort of trauma is just really very, very important.
I think if more and more people are educated as to what the mission was and to what type of material the Child Rescue Coalition was combating, more resources would be given to this cause.
We really want to encourage people to learn more about the work that we're doing at the Child Rescue Coalition. One of our biggest limitations is access to the funding that we need to grow our operation. With more funding, we could have more staff developing even more technology to stay one step ahead of these offenders. We are extremely reliant on the community's support, and every dollar goes to officers to train them to rescue children.
That fear, that isolation, that helplessness, children shouldn't have to feel that fear.